All right, everybody, welcome to Rivvibe with River. And today I have a pretty cool show for you. And this is for my episode one, which I'm going to cover. I want to cover something about affirmations. And I say this because I grew up in a Christian home, and hearing so many people say, just say your affirmations every day, especially when you are raised to believe that prayer is you saying something and the power of your words and the power of your words and the power of your words. And you hear that so often that after a while you think that, oops, I said something wrong. Let me take it back. In reality, it's what you vibrate that decides what you attract. When you look at the animal kingdom, there's this guy in Mexico City, I believe. His name is Eddie. And I believe it's called Black Jaguar White Tiger. Black Jaguar White Tiger. It's a pretty, I love what the guy's doing. He has like 40 acres and he's like rescuing animals that are lions or you name it, leopards, jaguars, animals that have been abused. And he takes them in. But there was an episode where there was a guy, and that I believe that helped him raise a tiger cub. So one of the guys that worked with him, they raised this tiger cub, and so he got engaged, and his girlfriend said, "I'm scared. I'm scared that one of these days these tigers are going to turn on you, or these animals are going to turn on you. I've seen too many things. I don't want you working there." So he left. And I don't know if it was like 2 years later, I believe. I might be off on that, but I think it was like 2 years later. He went to visit the sanctuary, the 40 acres, and the owner Eddie points him to the tiger and says, "Oh, look, there goes the whatever the name of the tiger was that you raised. Remember? And by now he's a grown killer, right? It's a grown tiger." And so he goes into the cage with them and he starts playing with it. Out of nowhere, the tiger grabs onto his ankle with his claws, just like grabs onto him. And he didn't do anything to him, but he kind of did. I believe he did like rip the pants, and he started to like gnaw lightly, but it could have turned ugly on his ankle. Gnaw on your ankle, right? I don't think there's any nice way to do that. But I remember the owner going into the cage and saying, "Get out." He kind of got the tiger off him. He goes, "Get out. He doesn't recognize your energy anymore." And that was such a profound statement because they don't, think about it. A tiger or a lion, they don't have a mirror. They don't go to school for somebody to teach them, "Oh, you're a tiger. These are your friends, and these are the ones that are food." It's all energy. In the animal kingdom, they see a zebra. The zebra is going to have this energy of fear towards a tiger. And so by default, or a lion, whatever, and by default, it's going to run because the tiger is like, "Oh, if you're running, you must be food," right? So a lot of times we have things run away from us because we're not vibrating with that thing in the energy of that thing that we want. I have an example that I will refer to a lot. And this is of a client, a hypnotherapy client, but this person was super scared of dogs. And one day, a little Shih Tzu started barking, and my friend's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the car." And we started laughing because, and even the owner of the house was like, "I could put her away," and he's like, "No." And it's funny because we spoke later, and he's really scared. He was really scared of dogs, and I said, "Why are you so scared of dogs?" And he goes, "My mind knows it can't do anything to me. My mind knows, worst case, I could kick it and it would leave me alone. I know it cannot hurt me, but inside it freaks me out." That is the most Profound statement, because that is what misalignment is in all of our lives. In his mind, his conscious mind, he knows this little fluffy dog can't do anything to me. But here, in his subconscious, it freaks him out. So the dog wasn't barking at me, it was barking at him. I wanted to play with it, right? But he was like being very aggressive with him. So it really goes to show what we vibrate is. And just to bring that real quick to the wrapping point about the dog and my friend who also became a client, he explained that when he was 2 years old, I believe, he was like, why is grandma, like everybody in his family was like, why are you so scared of dogs? And his grandma was like, oh, when you were little, you were like 2 and you were messing with the chihuahua and it bit you in the leg. So now, that explains it, right? To a 2-year-old, that chihuahua must have seemed like a tiger or something big. Obviously, we all know they bark, right? But it bit him and it scared him. And so in his subconscious, the feeling that dogs hurt you is ingrained, and that needs to be healed. So with that being said, I want to get into a very important topic that I believe going forward, if you continue, which I hope you do, subscribe, like, and comment, and share this video with people, because we're going to get in depth on the subconscious and what it does, what it is. And many people are talking about it. And I've done a lot of research, and I've been the guinea pig to myself, discovering a lot of things that work, things that don't. And some of these things might not work for you. You might find that something else works for you. But this is what's worked for me. This is what I've discovered with research and me as the guinea pig. And I'm going to say that we're going to talk about affirmations today. But before I do want to say that what we're going to talk about today, episode 1, is rewriting the script. I've put together what I call the preferred affirmation structure that is the way to use affirmations to penetrate the subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind is not a fool. You can't just penetrate it or change it because you just feel like it. You have to do it in a very methodical way. And if you don't know how to do it, you're not going to be able to. And a lot of times when I see a client in hypnotherapy, when I get clients, they'll tell me, oh, I want to work on this. I want to work on this and this. And I always say, well, that's great. That's your conscious mind saying what you want to work on. But your subconscious might say something different. And once we get into the session, it ends up being something they didn't even know, something they forgot about, something that happened when they were 3 years old, that they don't even remember how that came into, how it's still affecting them today. And because our memories don't start till 3 or 4. Some people might say 2. I've had people not till 5. It varies for everyone. But we're going to talk about rewriting the script and how this structure here will help you. If you use affirmations this way, you will best penetrate your subconscious to actually accept the affirmation you're giving it. Otherwise, it just sees it as something that it needs to push away because that's not your identity, right? So let's get into that. Now, if someone was told all their lives, you're stupid, you're useless, I wish you were never born, you're good for nothing, etc. This happened to me, right? My dad, and I know he didn't mean it, but being little, he would say things like, you're good for nothing in Spanish, right? A lot of times. And so you grow up not knowing that it's impacting you. One day I went to sleep. This is what I'm trying to say. I went to sleep with affirmations on in my headphones. And it was a video that was looping. And the video was like, oh, you're amazing. I am amazing. I can do anything. I can do all things. It was a lot of that. In the middle of the night, I woke up thinking, whoa, it's like, like everybody, every evil person or every evil thing you can imagine was in my room, right? I woke up sweating like in the movies, heart beating, and I was like, what? And I had to take off my headphones and throw them like on the bed, like, whoa. And I put them back on. I'm like, and I rewound like the last 10 minutes or so. I'm like, is there something in here that's scary? No, it was exactly the same thing. It was in a loop. And I was like, what? So doing some research, I found out that the reason why, and I talked to one of my teachers as well, we were doing some research on it. And she was saying that the subconscious wants to keep you safe, right? Well, the conscious wants to keep you safe, but the subconscious is like it keeps you in a place of comfort, in a place of this is who you are. So when you're trying to invade it with something different, it's gonna give you anxiety because this is not who we are. We are not smart. We're supposed to be stupid, good for nothing, etc. So whenever you give it something that's not part of its wiring, it's going to try to reject it to protect you. It's just trying to protect you because hey, we are lions. We're not hyenas, so we don't hang out with them. We eat them, right, etc. Right. So let me get to this. Get to one of this. So there's 3 parts, okay? 3 ways to use affirmations correctly. Okay, this is the way that they will penetrate your subconscious. And we're gonna start with the first one, and that is starting with a what if question. What if questions create space for the subconscious to develop curiosity. So what it does is your subconscious now will create a space where it can imagine that there's other possibilities without having the deep-seated beliefs that you have within you start to fight against it, right? And a great hypnotherapist that I read, and I recommend if you want to read his materials, his name is Alan Chips. And he has a quote that he says that the subconscious loves questions because they ignite curiosity and exploration. So the subconscious wants to grow and develop. And when you start with a what if question, you are allowing it to, you're asking it out on a date before you actually just want to go and be romantic with it, right? You're trying to be like, hey, what if everything I desire is already on its way to me? What if, and ask yourself, these are things that you can actually ask that you are conscious about. What if my dad, like in my case, right? My dad said, oh, you're good for nothing or whatever. What if my dad would have believed that I am the best? What if he really didn't mean what he said? What if things do work out for me? What if the guy or girl that I am interested in is interested in me? What if that company that I applied for thinks I'm the perfect candidate for them, right? What if they don't decide to hire this other person, but decide to or open a position for me at my job, etc. What if questions are very calming and will keep your subconscious from having anxiety and stress. And whenever you feel anxiety or stress, you're going to keep away without even realizing it. You'll keep away from something. That is why a lot of times people procrastinate, because they have anxiety and stress about doing that thing. Somehow, somewhere, and we'll get into there's going to be another episode where I get into procrastination and those beliefs. But somewhere in the subconscious, there's a belief that's causing you stress or anxiety about that. And that's the reason we procrastinate. So What if questions. Learn to just start with what if questions. What if things do work out for me? What if I find the perfect house for me? What if I do have the perfect opportunity come to me and whatever I need is right there, etc. So, what if questions, okay? Number two, we're going to get into this one, which is your I am statements. Now, the I am statements, these are the ones that everybody tells you to start with. Oh, yeah, I am amazing. I can do all things. I am this. I am a winner. But you never introduced a what if question that would soften your subconscious to allow the I am statement to penetrate. So, the I am statements affirm the new belief as an identity, because the subconscious mind is open to explore. And because the subconscious mind is open to exploration, it can accept your I am statement without conflict. Now, going from I am good for nothing or I can't do anything to I am confident in my abilities. I am confident that I can get that job. I am confident I could do that job excellently. Because remember, you started with, for this example, what if I can do that job perfectly? Well, your subconscious is like, okay, what if I can do that? What if that is the perfect job for me? Well, I am confident in my ability to create the perfect job for me, or that is the right job for me, etc. So your I am statements that you write should always follow your what if questions. Okay? So number one, what if questions. Number two, your I am statements. And these are the ones that we've all been accustomed to writing, and speaking and putting them in your bedroom mirror, your bathroom mirror. I am great, but let's start by softening it up with what if. Now, number three, and this one is the one that actually brings it to manifestation, and that is the grounding statements of I am grateful for, I am thankful for. Thankful for statements they ground in your subconscious that something is already true. When you know something, like if you got a check right now, right? If you were waiting for a check and it just came in the mail, you're no longer looking for it, right? It's in your hand. You're looking at this check right here. So you're no longer, oh, I wonder if. You're like, no, I'm thankful that it's for this check that I just got. I'm thankful that I got this commission check, my paycheck, my bonus, whatever it is that you're looking for. Even if you don't have it, by cementing it with I am thankful for, I am grateful for, grounding, anchoring statement, you bring those things that are not as though they were, and you bring it into certainty into your subconscious. And that's where Neville Goddard speaks about living in the end, living in the wish fulfilled. And that's where a lot of people say, as a man thinketh, so is he. But that's where also, for those that read the Bible, that where Jesus says, ask for anything, giving thanks, right? Because that is receiving it, right? That is already, if you have it, you're no longer looking for that check. If it's in your hand, you're no longer looking for it. You're no longer checking the mail for it. It's already in your hand. You can say, thank you, I got this. So even if it's not in your hand, you're living in the end as if you already have it in your hand, even though it's not. You live there by saying, thank you that I have that position. Thank you that the right position is opening up for me. Our job is not to make it happen. Our job is only to let it happen. All right. So that is something that is very important. And I hope that you all take very serious, because that is how you will have things manifest. Obviously, this is the first episode, but it's like kind of very foundational, because going forward, I want you all to just understand how these things work. Understand how affirmations work, how your subconscious works, how your subconscious will receive a statement or not. Okay. So thank you for tuning in. Please comment, share this video. If you found something useful here, at the very least, like, share it with your friends and family. And I would appreciate all the likes, shares, comments, subscriptions. That is how I bring this content to help people. I know that my modalities might not work for everyone, but if one of these works, or if you found something here that could benefit you, please share. And thank you for tuning in. And this is episode 1 in conclusion. And stay tuned for more episodes coming soon. Thank you.